All right, welcome back to another episode of AJ Let's Talk Sports. We're live with Mr. Ed Cole from Inside Sports Talk. How's it going again? We were here last week. How you been
Yeah.
a week ago?
Happy Super Bowl Sunday. We are 2 hours away from kickoff of Super Bowl 55, dude. I'm so
I know.
excited. I know
I
you
know.
are.
I'm very excited. I don't even know what to do. I'm so pumped right now.
I
I don't know
know.
if I'm going to go anywhere. I'm about ready to bounce. I don't know. My sister just got back and she's in the military, so she wants to go out to a bar somewhere or something. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I might just sit here and chill and relax. I got some food in the crock pot ready for dinner tonight for the game, so I'm ready to go.
That's probably the best move. Just stay at home. You got the food ready. Why even go outside? Just stay at home in your creature comforts and watch the game there.
Plus it's negative 15 out here, so it's
Oh
in
no.
Wisconsin.
It's
That's
minus
just
15 degrees in Wisconsin? No.
That's a regular temp. That's a regular temp. That's
Okay,
not even
well,
including wind chill. Wind chill's like 30, negative 30.
good luck with that. I think it's in the 60s here in Arizona today.
Oh, that's too cold, huh?
No. Not from a guy like me, not a guy from Maryland. This is I'm used to the weather that you have back in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, it's cold here, man. Oh my
Oh,
goodness, it's real bad.
but
But all right,
you know what's not cold in Wisconsin? That MVP that Aaron Rodgers got. That's not
I
cold.
know, not cold at all.
No.
He might be. I'm excited about that too. I don't know. I didn't hear anybody talking yet because I haven't been out and about yet. So I've been kind of home inside. Haven't talked to anybody around here about that yet, but I'm sure they're excited about that.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't think. Yeah, I'm gonna. I was wanting to get into. Kind of got a list here about what we want to talk about, and I have this. See if we can. There we go. The Carson Wentz trade.
Nice. I like that
The
lower third. That's good.
Yeah, the where and why. What do you think? Where he's going to go, and why do you think he's going to go there?
I think the most logical place for him would be Indianapolis because Frank Reich is there. Frank was his offensive coordinator the year they won the Super Bowl back in 2017. So it would make perfect sense for him to go to Indianapolis because Phillip Rivers retired. Obviously, they're in need of a quarterback. Jacoby Brissett, I believe he's a free agent, so he may or may not come back to Indianapolis. So I think it's tailor-made for Carson Wentz. One, there's a number of teams, but number one, Indianapolis, because they've got a great running game with our boy Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
They've got a great offensive line. He still has T.Y. Hilton there, still one of the elite wide receivers in the game, and they've got a great line. They've got a great defense, and they play indoors.
Right, that's true too.
And you've got a pretty good owner. Jim Irsay is kind of quirky and weird, but he's a good owner. He's got a good heart. He just sometimes he's a little bit out there with some of the stuff he says and does.
Yeah. Coming from Philly, South Philly, where I was at, I lived about 20 minutes south of Philly, and talking to a bunch of sports guys out there. They're big Philadelphia sports fans out there, by the way, and all Philly, 76ers,
Yeah.
Philadelphia Flyers.
Who are big sports fans in the city of Philadelphia? Everybody's a big sports fan there.
Oh yeah, it's nice though if you're a Philly fan. But
yeah,
the guy I used to actually work with, Nicky B was his name. He was a big Philadelphia everything Philly, and he was talking about Carson Wentz and all that stuff. And he was basically saying how they feel out there in Philly. It was the coach. It was they don't believe it was Carson Wentz at all. They just think he was in the wrong scheme with Peterson. But Peterson they got Peterson out of there. I figured they were going to keep Carson Wentz and bring new people in. Bring a new coach in and then go from there. But they went ahead and just kind of revamped the whole thing. The ownership pretty much was in control of that whole situation and got rid of that.
So Adam, they got Nick Sirianni, their brand new head coach. So maybe he's thinking, I want a fresh start with my quarterback instead of somebody that's already not that Carson Wentz is tainted, but he wants his own guy. Just like Urban Meyer is going to want Trevor Lawrence when it's time for them to make that first pick in the NFL draft. You want your own guy there, just like if the GM came before the head coach, the GM wants his own head coach. That's the way the hierarchy works. So maybe Nick Sirianni and Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, and the general manager Howie Roseman, they just came together and said, you know what? Now it's pretty much the time to strike and do this trade on Carson Wentz because they saw what happened with Goff and Matthew Stafford. They saw what happened with that. They see what potentially could happen with Sam Darnold if he gets traded. There's rumors he could get traded, and there's also the talk about Deshaun Watson. So now that this quarterback this quarterback trade thing is the hot thing, the new du jour as far as the NFL is concerned. Why not the Eagles start over with a fresh start if it's Jalen Hurts or whoever they get back in return? And I also saw that if he goes to the Chicago Bears, Nick Foles will be part of that trade. So Nick would potentially return to Philadelphia if he goes to the Bears. That's what I heard.
That's hilarious because I was just talking about that a couple months ago. I was like, you need your boy Nick Foles back. You need your boy Nick Foles back to the guy that I used to work with out in South Jersey.
Because essentially he's the guy.
Want him, but you're going to be right stuck with him if that happens.
Yeah, but essentially he's the guy that won you the Super Bowl.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Why are you going to hate on Nick Foles?
Yeah,
he's the one who got you the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz didn't do anything. So
no, but Indianapolis. So let me do my top three. Indianapolis will be number one. San Francisco will be a close number two for me. How good would Carson Wentz fit in out there with Kyle Shanahan and what they're trying to do from an offensive standpoint? Kyle Shanahan is a genius. Would he not love to have Carson Wentz there? Carson is 28. He's still young. I don't think he's hit his prime yet. He just needs the right system, like you. I think he just outgrew the system, and Wentz and Doug Peterson just didn't work, and it was an untenable relationship.
I think Peterson's more. I don't think he has enough tools in his bag to do anything. He just probably a little system 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're not in that, then you're not going to be able to do anything. He can't change it up at all. Yes. Almost like a Mike McCarthy type coach.
Yes. So. But a Frank Reich will change up in Indianapolis for Carson Wentz. Kyle Shanahan would change up for Carson Wentz. The Chicago Bears would change up for Carson Wentz if they got him. The Carolina Panthers will be a fourth team that I would see could be in the mix for Carson Wentz because I know they pushed hard for Matthew Stafford, but they didn't get him. Or a number 5 would be the Washington football team. I don't know if the Eagles would trade within the division like we talked about last week. Would the Houston Texans trade Deshaun Watson to Jacksonville or Indianapolis? I would say no because you don't want to see him twice a year.
I was going to bring that up too with the Dak Prescott thing, but I just heard earlier, I actually had it written down to talk about, but I actually just saw it about an hour ago that Dak Prescott might be getting franchise tag for the next couple of years because I thought he was going to be in that trade Watson mix, and I could have saw that Watson going to Dallas and then switching people in Texas. That would be rough.
That would be crazy. Whoa.
It'd be good for Dallas, but bad for Dak. I'll tell you that.
Bad for Dak, yeah.
Unless he's getting a lot of money for it, but I don't know. But they're going to give him $38 million. They're going to give Dak $38 million for franchise tagging him. So
I'll take that.
That's good for me. I'll take that too. Let's go with Sam. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Now, and then I was talking to some friends today at church, and they were talking about, well, why not trade Kyler Murray for Deshaun Watson? Why not trade Deshaun Watson, have him come to the Cardinals, and then send Kyler Murray to Houston? But then I told them, I'm thinking, well, would Kyler Murray want to go to Houston? If he sees what the struggles that Deshaun Watson is having in Houston and he's not happy there, why would Kyler Murray want to go there?
Right.
Just when he's starting to build something here in Arizona, why would he want to go to Houston?
I know.
And I know Deshaun would love to come here to reunite with DeAndre Hopkins. Would he not?
Oh, that's for sure.
Yes.
He's going to have a lot more better weapons out in Arizona than he has now, too.
I mean, the Cardinals will be an outside shot. I don't think that's going to happen, but Indianapolis will be probably my top pick. Who do you think he would go to and why?
Me? I would want him to stay in Philly, but I guess apparently that's not going to happen.
No.
San Francisco sounds really good to me too. When you brought up San Francisco, I like that. I like Shanahan as well because he's a really good quarterback coach.
Yes, and remember we talked about Jimmy Garoppolo. If they cut him before June 1st, it's only less than $3 million in dead cap money. So if they got rid of Garoppolo, which I'm sure maybe Shanahan and John Lynch are done with Garoppolo, they see, well, Jimmy took us as far as he could. Yes, he took us to the Super Bowl, but maybe it's time to move on. Yeah,
I think so. I think so too.
Maybe
it's good. I'd like to see where Carson Wentz lands and to see if he even does any good. I don't know. Is it him? Is it the coaching? Was he prideful enough where he got the $100 million? Was he just like, I'm not going to give 100%? I don't know, but we'll see. And maybe he just needs a new program and needs to turn it around for himself. Just like nice. Yeah, nice and
just
new.
Just like Jared Goff needed a fresh start and Matthew Stafford needed a fresh start. He needed to get it out of Detroit. Goff was done in LA. Sean McVay was pretty much done with him. So it's like, why not ship these guys off to somewhere where they're actually wanted now and they can get a fresh start and take it from there. Hopefully resurrect their careers in a different city, in a different organization.
And to stick with the where and why, we're going to go. You brought it up earlier. Here's a Sam Darnold. The where and why. So where do you think? I know you brought it up earlier. So where do you think he's going to go?
Interchange any of those teams. whoever does not take Carson Wentz or Deshaun Watson, insert him there. He could go to Chicago. He could go to Carolina, could be in the mix. Washington could be in the mix. We don't know what's going to happen with Alex Smith. Who knows what's going to happen is if he's going to come back, if he's going to be healthy, if he's going to want to come back. Although he did get comeback player of the year. So why would the comeback player of the year not want to come back, right?
Right. That's ironic, right? Now, where would you go on?
Maybe the Broncos. How about the Denver Broncos? They need a quarterback. They've had instability at quarterback ever since Peyton left. Denver Broncos could be in the mix, right?
Yeah. Always. Denver's always looking for a quarterback. You never, it's been kind of a carousel ever since John Elway. They thought Brock Osweiler was going to be their savior. He ended up busting up. Where did he go? He went to Baltimore or something for a year or something like that afterwards or something like that.
Where did Brock go after that?
I thought he went south or Houston. He went to Houston.
Houston, yes.
Yeah, for like a year or something. And then he didn't end up doing anything.
Yes. Could the Jets and the Texans pull a swap for quarterbacks? There's always been this rumor of Deshaun Watson going to New York. So why wouldn't the general managers work a deal where they swap quarterbacks, just like LA and Detroit did?
I wouldn't. If I was Watson, I wouldn't like that. I'd like to go to a team that's ready to go right now. The Jets are horrible. But like I said, like I was reading or something, I was going to talk about
San Francisco's ready to go.
The Texans. That I was going to bring that up. I mean, if you want to bounce around a little bit, here you go. I already got it written down here.
Okay, let's bounce around.
The Texans insist they're not trading Watson, as that's what they said. So I don't know if you agree with the ownership there, or what.
Whenever you hear that, you say, okay, they insist. That means they are insisting. They want to trade Deshaun Watson. There's never any deal that's off the table. If the general manager for the Houston Texans, if Nick Caserio gets the right offer, of course he's going to pull a deal for Deshaun Watson. It's either that or have Deshaun just sit out, and it becomes even more of a PR disaster because Deshaun Watson is sitting out, and now you've got to fine him for missing practices and missing, like say he misses preseason games, say he misses training camp practices, and he misses all these games. You've got to fine him, and now you've got a disgruntled employee there that nobody wants to be around, and he doesn't want to be around anybody else.
That happens a lot outside the NFL, I'll tell you that much.
Yes, it
does. A lot of disgruntled employees out here in America right now.
but a lot of those disgruntled employees aren't making $35-40 million a year.
Right. I would not be disgruntled. I wouldn't care where I'd go.
No.
But I mean, he does the stats. That's what I'm saying. I told you this last week. Yeah. Deshaun Watson's probably my favorite underdog quarterback, number one in the NFL. He just doesn't have anybody around him. Doesn't have any talent or anything. Give him a Tampa Bay team. Give him a Green Bay team. Give him something like that. And that's what we talked about last week. When you brought that up, that I was thinking about that all week, and I said, you know what? That's a very, very awesome. I would love to see him down in New Orleans and then bring a title back to New Orleans again. Since that Katrina, and they rained that Katrina thing into the ground, but they're still I think trying to build from what happened out there in that hurricane.
I know. But if you're talking about just talent, New Orleans and San Francisco will be two of the top teams for me, and Carolina will be there. They still got Christian McCaffrey there. They've got some decent wide receivers there. They've got some pieces in place in Carolina, but New Orleans and San Francisco would probably be my top two for Deshaun if that actually ends up happening, if he's looking for talent.
Right, and then having a defense, and then having that defense stopping people, and all he has to do is score 14, 21 points, and then still be able to get the win.
Yeah, basically.
He'll be unstoppable. That's what I was saying. He'll get, if he has a team like Green Bay or a Tampa Bay that Tom Brady's on, he's going to get over 5,000 passing yards, around 5,000 passing yards a year, and over 40 touchdowns a year, and probably be under 10. Under 10 interceptions for him? Under. Okay, yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
I like that.
because
To
both of
see
those
him in San Francisco would be awesome too. San
yes,
Francisco's a good
because both
team.
and both those teams have good offensive lines too. So they'll keep Deshaun Watson healthy. They'll keep him clean. And if he goes to New Orleans, he's got Alvin Kamara, one of the best running backs in the league to deal with the handoff to.
And he can pass too. You can pass to him.
Oh,
that's a wrap. That's crazy right there.
Forget about it.
You can spread out. You can bring him in the backfield. You can do whatever you want. Bring him all over the place. Then you got Smith. You got Tyron Smith that can do a lot of stuff too.
Yes.
So there'd be a lot. I would be utilizing all kinds of play fakes action and wildcat and all kinds of crazy stuff in the offense if I was Sean Payton.
Yes. Not to mention all the free agents that would want to come there, that would want to come and play with Deshaun Watson and Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders and that defense and be with Sean Payton, one of the offensive masterminds in the National Football League. People would flock to come to New Orleans.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. I want to see. I'd almost say that number one. I'd rather see him go to New Orleans over any other team in the NFL right now.
Oof, yeah. It would be tough for him because he's walking in the shadows of one of the greats of all time. If Drew Brees decides to retire, if this does happen, he's got to live up to Drew Brees standards and say, oh my gosh, I've got to follow him up. I've got to follow up a bona fide first ballot Hall of Famer. But I think Deshaun will be up for the task. He'd be up for the challenge if it happens.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think he's good enough. He definitely has enough talent. It's just he needs to stay in a place and just kind of retire there. If he decides to go wherever he's going to go, and I'm hoping that he decides to go to a superstar talented team like a New Orleans Saints. So if he decides to go there, just stay there. I would just stay there. It's for my entire career if he could. And I'm sure he would get about a Super Bowl or two, probably in New Orleans if that happens. I think so.
Possibly. New Orleans or San Francisco. I'd love to see him in either one of those cities. That'd be great.
Let's see. Here we go. You ready for this one?
Yep.
You ready for this next one? Aaron Rodgers, the MVP.
Rodgers. Yes.
Rodgers. You get the Rodgers rate? Did you get the Rodgers rate?
Oh, congratulations. That's his third MVP. Is that right?
I think it's his third MVP. Really?
Yeah. I believe it is.
Right,
yes.
He had that. It was on Instagram, and he had like the two belts on his shoulders and the one belt around his waist. If you saw that, that was pretty cool.
But he's well deserving of it. What he did this year with for all the yards he threw and all the 48 touchdowns and 5 interceptions through the regular season, and as far as he took his Packers team to the NFC Championship game, of course he deserves the MVP, no question.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy what he did. Also putting up big time numbers. I don't even think those were his best numbers of his career, but they were up there. I don't think so. I think he's had over 5,000 passing yards before. Now the touchdowns might be.
Look up. I got Aaron's stats here. Yeah, 48. That's his passing. Yeah, 48 is his career high. He had 45 back in 2011. Also, 2011 was his highest throwing year. He threw for 46-43 that year. Man, he killed that year. That was the year after they won the Super Bowl, right? That was the year. That was the David Tyree catch, the Giants against the Patriots. That's right. Yes. Remember that one? The David Tyree catch here in Arizona, 2011?
That goes way back. I don't know if I can remember that.
Oh, Adam, that year, he threw 45 touchdowns and 6 interceptions that year. That's crazy.
Oh, that's about almost the same exact stats that he had in 2011 then.
Yes. That's in that 9 years after he did that, he still threw for almost 50 touchdowns and
what is he, like 38 years old or something now?
Yeah, 38 years old, completed 71% of his passes. That's the highest completion percentage since his third year in the league. But that year he only played 2 games, so you can really throw that one out. But 71% of his passes in his 16th year in the league, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the MVP. He deserved it.
That's insane. Yeah, definitely. Over Mahomes and all that. They were saying Mahomes should have got it, but I don't see him getting it. Not putting up them stats.
No, Patrick had a great year, but Aaron's was just out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
almost a
beast mode.
10-1 interception, touchdown to interception ratio. That just doesn't happen regularly in the NFL.
Oh, I know it. I know
Who
it.
does that?
Aaron Rodgers does.
Aaron does.
What happened to the
But
discount double check? Remember that we used to
know.
do that? The discount double check thing.
But for him to have a chance to be in the Super Bowl, I'm sure he'd trade that MVP if he could. To be playing today, he'd give up that MVP if he had to.
I would think so.
If it came down to it, yes.
Yeah, what does he only have? He only has like one, doesn't he? One Super Bowl.
Yeah, 2010 they won the Super Bowl. They beat the Steelers that year. In your stadium, in the Cowboys stadium.
Which one, AT&T or the old one?
Yes, the AT&T.
Okay, cool. So let's see. Here we go. We're going to go defense now. Aaron Donald, defensive player of the year. I don't have a whole lot of stats on him. I'm trying to see if you can get my stat guy, but they say all the team, the players and analysts say he's probably the best player of all time, and defensive player of all time. They said.
Yes,
I hear a lot about that.
Troy Aikman said on one of the broadcasts, I'm trying to remember, it might have been the Cardinals game they broadcasted or the Seahawks game. He said Aaron Donald's the best defensive player he's ever seen. And he's seen some great ones. He's seen Lawrence Taylor, and he's seen Reggie White and guys of that caliber. But for him to say Aaron Donald is even greater than them, wow. What does that say about Aaron? My gosh.
He just a freight train beast. He can do it all, like inside the trenches. I've watched him get double teamed, go through double teams like it was nothing.
Yeah. So this year he had 13 and a half sacks. Let me see. He forced 4 fumbles, had a pass defense, played all 16 games for the 3rd straight year. 45 tackles. Anything else? 14 tackles for loss. That's what he does. He gets in the backfield. He disrupts things. 28 quarterback hits. Just another defensive player of the year performance for Aaron Donald. That guy is unbelievable. And you saw how different that defense was when they played Green Bay and he was in and out that day. Their defense was not the same.
I know,
99 was there.
Well,
and you saw
I think didn't he have Corona or something?
No, remember he injured himself the week before tackling tackling Russell Wilson. He kind of fell on Russell Wilson and injured his ribs. Okay,
because I know there was someone else that was on defense that had Corona and he was like not playing up to par. I thought that was Donald, but I guess that was someone else.
No, they were. That was with the Browns. That was Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett. Yeah. Yes.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yes, but so Aaron's was a rib injury, so that kind of affected him. And you saw the Packers attack that middle of the Rams defense. They attacked that all game long because 99 wasn't there that much.
I know, it's true.
Yeah,
but that's. Where did they have that? Did they have the award ceremony anywhere, or did they just announce it?
I think they announced it. I don't know because I don't know if they did it virtually or how they did it. But
you have like some kind of award ceremony or something or whatever.
Yeah, but with this year with COVID and everything, I'm sure they had to scale that back if anything at all.
So yeah, I was just wondering if you knew where they had it or where they just probably just said just give it out on ESPN or something or just Instagram it out or whatever, just social media. I don't know. So we're going to get to it. We have about 7 minutes left.
Okay.
We want to get into. So we got Super Bowl 55. Yeah. We brought this up at the very beginning, and we're going to talk about. I would like to get. Let's do this first because we're going to give you the Kansas City's favored by 3 and the over/under is 56. That's going to help with some of our predictions as we go along here.
Over/under 56, really.
6 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of. I can't tell if that's going to be high or low. I've been watching a lot of analysts this morning talking about that.
I think it's going to be higher. I've got Tampa winning by 4. I've got them winning 43-39. It's going to be a high-scoring game,
really,
in my opinion. Yes.
You got it way up there.
Yes, I think it's going to be a high-scoring. There's too much talent on both of these offenses for them not to be effective today.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me to
What do you think?
I don't know where to go. Okay, so. I guess it just depends on how Tampa Bay's defense. Are they going to lock him? Is Kansas City going to go all the way down the field? Are you going to be able to stop Tyreek Hill? You can't stop Tyreek Hill and Kelsey one-on-one. So they're going to have a lot of defensive help. Yeah. Are they going to clamp down when they get in the red zone? is Tampa Bay going to be able to stop them in the red zone? That's a question you have to answer. Pre-game answering it, I don't know. I mean, is Patrick Mahomes' foot really as bad as they say it's going to be, or is that just like maybe this little news that they're talking about? Kansas City's offensive line is a little banged up. We don't know how that's going to go. Is he going to be able? Is Mahomes going to get? What's their plan on trying to keep him in the pocket, or are they going to try to like just make him run around and play, play coverage? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But to say, I don't know if it's going to be that high though. But 56, what is that, like 32-28 or something like that?
Yeah, or like 30 to 26. Yeah, something 30, like that.
That could be. I mean, I might, if it does go over, I'm saying maybe over to 58, somewhere around there, maybe 60. But I'm almost wanting to go under on that because it might be a totally opposite game than we think, because we've talked about games before where it's supposed to blow up offensively and the defense clamps down and they only score half of what they were supposed to in the whole game. Right. So I've seen that before too. So I guess I'll go 60. I'll go over 60. I want to write that down too. Oh, by the way, just a little side note. If you wanted to have tickets, I looked up the ticket prices for that Super Bowl. If you're able to get in there, $4,135 pennies.
Wow.
And that's probably nosebleed. That's probably not even. You probably have to go in the cafeteria part and sit there and watch it on the TV for that.
Probably. Well, since they did, you're only going to have like 22,000 fans or so. So NFL's got to find a way to make some kind of money off this game because I believe a lot of the commercials have been scaled back. Budweiser, I think they're not doing any commercials for the first time in a long time. They're not even doing any advertising on the Super Bowl. So a lot of companies are probably scaling back on the ads and the advertising for the Super Bowl. So they've got to make some money.
Is that true? The Budweiser's not even going to be on a commercial?
That's what I read.
Wow. That's a first. I've never heard that before.
I'm gonna look that up.
Remember they used to have like those Clydesdales all the time. I remember they always had the Clydesdale commercials. Then they had like the Clydesdales playing football and kicking a field goal and stuff.
Yes.
Those are old school right there.
Yes. So it says Budweiser said it's going to donate their ad money to coronavirus awareness efforts. That's great. That's good.
That is good. I like that.
So it says Anheuser-Busch announced they're not doing any advertising for the first time since 1983.
Wow.
But that's great that they're going to donate that ad money to the coronavirus efforts. That's fun. That's fantastic. That's awesome.
Well, we didn't say the points. So what you going with the -3?
Well, I've got Tampa winning by 4. So
okay.
They wouldn't cover.
All right. So okay, here we go. Yeah, we got our predictions. We got that over under. We got this. I have 60 over. That's what I picked.
But you didn't say who's your winner?
Oh, I got Kansas City. You got Tampa?
Yes.
Okay, so I got Kansas City. Let's see. If I'm picking 60, they have to win. I have points too. I think Kansas City's going to win by at least a touchdown, to be honest. But we're going to go high on here. Let's just do like 35-28. 35-8. Yeah, 35-28. I put it at 60.
Yeah, 63 points. So you're over 60. I can see that. Yeah. Yes.
35-28.
So you've got a high scoring game too.
You kind of influenced me because I didn't think it was going to be that high. I honestly thought it was going to be like a defensive kind of battle.
And it still could. It could.
Kansas City needs to get to the quarterback. I'm telling you what, Tampa Bay, who'd they play last game? Tampa Bay and was it Green Bay or something?
Green Bay.
Yeah, they didn't get to the quarterback at all. You got to put Tom Brady on the ground, and I'm getting tired of him just standing there picking everybody apart the whole entire time. And I am a Tom Brady hater anyway, so I don't really like him. I want to see him get hit, and I want to see him get hit hard, but they won't let him do it. They won't do it. I'm just letting you know that. I'm sure it's in the contract in between the lines with these teams that the defensive players can't hit Tom Brady.
Oh.
That's like a clause.
but it's a testament to what their offensive line. They've got a strong offensive line in Tampa Bay. And on the flip side, you talked about Kansas City's offensive line. They're going to be under fire all day. You've got JPP coming off one edge. You've got Shaq Barrett on the other edge. On the middle, you've got Devin White and Levante David. Those are four of the best linebackers in football, Adam. And then not to mention up front, you've got Ndamukong Suh. You've got Vita Vea. He's coming back at the nose tackle position. And you've got William Golston. William Golston had 20 quarterback hits this year. So that front seven is outstanding. Not to mention their secondary is really good. They've got two really good young safeties in Antoine Winfield and Jordan Whitehead. And they've got good cornerbacks. That defense is good. And Todd Bowles, he schemes those guys up really well. And they love to get to the ball. I saw a stat that in the postseason, they've got 7 takeaways, that defense. That's how ferocious Tampa's defense is. So they've got to be able to they've got to add that number up even more, Adam. They've got to get that takeaway number in the postseason to like 10, which means they've got to get at least 3 turnovers from Patrick Mahomes. And could they get 3 from 15? Could they get some turnovers and get points out of that like they did 2 weeks ago against Green Bay? It's possible. But they've got to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. They've got to keep him on the run all day long and not in a good way. Not where he's running around and he's making plays happen. He's running around because his hair is on fire. He's getting chased for 60 minutes, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm just hoping that Kansas City's defensive line can get to him with just 4 down and just get to him. I would love to see that, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I would like for it to be a game, and I'd like for Tom Brady to earn it because I'm getting tired of him just getting these cheapies. Like when they were playing Green Bay, when the guy throws it over the top of the guy's head, just it's almost a halftime. Let's just chuck it downfield and see what happens. Blows right by the corner. Like that's ridiculous. Yeah. That was ridiculous. Like it was that Green Bay game. I think we talked about that last week. I almost am considering it's a conspiracy theory. They just wanted Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Now, no matter what happens, Mahomes, Brady, duke it out. We'll let you guys do whatever you got to do, but we wanted Tom Brady in the Super Bowl this year versus Mahomes. And that's what it kind of seemed like what happened. Because Aaron Rodgers throws 3 interceptions. Or no, it was Drew Brees when they were playing New Orleans. When Drew Brees throws 3 interceptions against Tom Brady. That almost seemed like New Orleans just like, okay, here you go. Just give it to you. It's in our contract. So here we get an extra $1 million if Brady goes in the Super Bowl or something. I swear it's like that sometimes. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows?
But we pretty much wrapped it up. What do you think?
Yeah, so, I think it's good.
We hit it past the little 30 mark, but kind of staying in between plus or minus 3. So again, thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, share. Next week I'll be on your show next week, correct?
Yes, I'll work on that.
Okay. All right, sounds good. And subscribe as well. So all right, you guys have a good night and enjoy the Super Bowl.
Enjoy the game, guys.